Hello, welcome. Today we're gonna play Arkham Horror 3rd edition. We're gonna play one of the 4 scenarios that are included in the base game called Approach of Azathoth. And there's gonna be a how to play introduction to this video. This is not a full how to play video, so I'm gonna just go through most of the rules, but not all of them. So don't take it as a rules reference, but I'm gonna for sure go through all the rules while we play and explain everything I'm doing as we play. So if you don't know the rules to this game, don't worry. And then we're gonna have the playthrough. I also want you to know that if there's any mistakes and I realize them or someone points them out in the comment section, and if you realize I made any mistakes, please point them out in the comment section below. They're gonna be corrected in the subtitles channel, Klingon channel of the subtitles. Also, if you want to jump straight to the playthrough, there's gonna be the chapters of the videos with the timestamps that will allow you to do so. So we can jump straight into the how to play part of the video. First of all, how do you set up this game? You take each scenario has a specific like reference card for each for them, and it says like the starting space for all the investigators. And as you can see, my investigators are both at the train station because that's the starting space for this scenario. And then you have the map set up, so north side, downtown, east town, merchant district, river town, with all the streets location that connect them, so the trees, the bridges, and the residential. I don't know how they're called. I don't know why my camera is a little bit blurred today. Bear with me. I don't know how to fix it at the moment. And then it tells you how much doom you need to place in each location. And also in this case there's a symbol that says you are supposed to place a robbed figure in each of the locations that are indicated. Robbed figures are enemies, so that's what I did. There are 2 robbed figures and 1 doom in each of the locations that were marked at the beginning in the reference sheet. Then another thing you need to do is build a monster deck. It's basically a deck of monsters that it's set right next to me. Actually, I'm gonna bring it a little bit closer to me with all these monsters. Basically specific names or specific like types of monsters, in this case Hounds of Tyndalos. Then there is a cup. The concept of the monster cup is basically a cup that has a lot of tokens, as you can see. It's a little bit dark, and this is going to tell you which kind of tokens do you need to place in the cup, and that has been done. And then there is the cards that you need to add to the codex. This is going to be our codex, and I took cards 2 and 3 as it was suggested by the game, by the setup of this scenario. And then there is said create the anomaly deck using temporal fissure cards, and that has also been done. There are some cards that have like temporal fissures on top, and it's basically some sort of encounter deck. We're gonna talk about encounter decks very soon. Now, another thing you need to do for the setup is to take like the specific event deck for your scenario. So your scenario is gonna have a specific event deck, and the event deck is composed of all the possible locations of that scenario. And you also are supposed to take all the locations that are in place. So for each location, north side, downtown, east town, merchant district, and river town, there is a deck of specific cards for each of these locations, and this is going to be the encounter deck for these locations. Okay, then you choose your investigators. I mean, you let's talk about this. You take the items deck. There is another deck called the items deck. So there's items basically, and you set up a display of the items deck. It's supposed to be 5 cards. I placed it like this because I didn't have space. I didn't have space to put the codex otherwise, so I placed it like this. There's also out of the frame, but there's also a deck of allies, spells, and another of unique assets, I think they're called, or something like that. So there are 3 more item decks. Another thing you need to do is take the headlines cards, okay? So there's gonna be a deck of headline cards. The headline cards look like this. They have this symbol in the back. You need to take, there are 32 cards in the game. You are supposed to take 13 of them, shuffle them, and place them next to wherever you're playing. And they're gonna be your headlines deck. And then there's a deck of conditions that are blessed, cursed, and dark pacts that you just set aside next to you. This is how it looks like, but it's just cursed, blessed is on the back, and then there are the dark pacts. Yes, so this is basically it. Then you choose your investigators. Each investigator will have a specific setup for each of them that is pointed out in the back. So in the back for Dexter, we have take the card Mists of Riley and then $2. So we have Mists of Riley and $2, and then I need to choose one between Magic's Cane and Astral Travel, as it's pointed out at the bottom here. Okay. For Jenny Barnes, very similar. She's supposed to take $5. Take the Search for Easy card and then choose one of the two Dressed to the Nines and Jenny's Twin 45. Okay, how does this game work? The game is played in a series of rounds. You are not sure about what's your objective or how you're gonna lose the game. Usually, your objective and how you lose the game is specified in your codex. So right now we have 2 cards in the codex and we're gonna have to read them. And usually the more the more doom goes on the scenario sheet, the more you're approaching your loss. The more clues you're putting on the scenario sheet, the more you're approaching winning, okay? But winning is really like, sometimes you need to place clues on the scenario sheet, but then also do some other things with those clues and so on. So it really depends on what the codex says for both winning or losing. So general idea, you don't want the doom to go on the scenario sheet, you want clues to go on the scenario sheet. Okay? That's what you want to do. The game is played over a series of rounds, and the rounds are divided in a series of phases. The first is the action phase, the second is the monster phase, third is the encounter phase, fourth is the mythos phase. I'm really sorry this is not focusing. I don't know why. Anyways, the action phase, each of the investigators performs up to 2 actions, and there's a series of possible actions that each investigator can take, okay? The first action is easy, is moving. So you can move up to 2 spaces away, and if you want to move more than 2 spaces, you can spend up to $2 extra to move an extra 2 spaces. So if you spend $1, you can move up to 3 spaces. If you spend $2, you can move up to 4 spaces, but you can never move more than 4 spaces, spending dollars basically. Also, about all of these actions, you can never perform the same action in the same turn more than once. So you can't double move, for example. Then there is the gather resources action, where you can basically gain $1 from the supply. The focus action, where you can focus one of your skills. So the game is based a lot. Sorry if I move very weirdly in the thing. I don't know if I already said it. Sometimes I'm delayed and so on. So the game is based on the characters having some skills, and the higher they have these skills at, the more likely it is for them to pass something called skill tests. Okay, so focusing one of these skills is basically getting one of these tokens called focus tokens, and they're gonna just have, for example, this is a wheel focus token. So this means that Dexter from now on is not gonna have 2 wheel, but is gonna count as having 3 wheel. And basically you can never have more than the focus limit. So each character has a focus limit. For Journey Barnes is 1, so she can never have more than 1 focus token. While for Dexter, it is equal to the number of spells he has. So a Dexter can have up to the number of spells of improvement. Focus tokens. Improvement tokens are called in Eldritch Horror. That's why I'm confused. Okay, and this is the third action. The fourth action is ward. So you basically, if you're in a space with Doom, you can test lore, and lore is one of your skills basically. And for each success that you get, you can remove 1 Doom. So if you get more than 1 success, you can remove 1 Doom for each success you get. If you get at least 2 successes, you also get something called a remnant, which is this kind of token. And we're gonna see when this can be used, but it could be useful in some situations. And yes, how does a skill test works in general? I'm gonna explain this now because we're talking about the word action, but it's gonna be useful for the whole game. In general, when you need to perform a skill test, you take the amount of dice corresponding to the value of your skill. So in this case, Dexter Drake is going to have 4 lore. So if he wants to outwards, he's gonna have to roll 4 dice, and then 5 and 6s. I have special dice here. 5. Is it gonna focus? No, 5, yes. And 6s, you can see it in the corner, are successes. While 1 to 4 is failure, okay? So each success you get is a 5 or 6 of the dice that you have rolled. There are ways to reroll your dice. One of them is spending clues. So if you gather clues around, we're gonna see how to gather clues, by the way. If you gather clues in the board around Arkham, basically, you are able to spend the clue to reroll 1 die. And same with for each focus token, you are able to spend 1 focus token for each die you want to reroll, basically. And this is how skill tests work. Another action you can do is attack. So if you are in a space with a monster with an enemy, not with a monster. If you're in a space with an enemy, you can basically engage that enemy and automatically attack that enemy. And to do that, you need to perform a strength skill test. For each success you get, you deal 1 damage to the enemy. The third kind of action the other kind of action you can do is evade. The evade action is basically you test your, again, if you're engaged to an enemy, so the enemy is engaged with you, we're gonna see when enemy engage you, I guess. You can test observation, and if the observation... I forgot to say one thing. You can attack the enemies, but the enemies have modifiers, okay? So if you're attacking the robed figure, you're gonna roll your amount of strength -0 and your observation to attack, and observation -0 to evade. But some of the monsters have actually like some modifiers behind. So evade, you test basically observation to basically exhaust and disengage from the enemy. Um, then there is the research action. If you have any clues on your player sheet and you want to put them on the scenario sheet, you need to take the research action. So you need to test observation. For each success you get, you can place that many clues on the scenario sheet. And then there is the trade action. You can exchange a number of possessions with other investigators in your space. And then the last type of actions that you can take are actions that are on card's component. So in this case, Jenny has a trust fund action where instead of gaining one resource, she could get up to 3 resources if she has fewer than 3 resources. And that's an action for her, okay? So you spend an action to do something that is written on a specific card. Some of these actions can be, all of these actions can be taken at any time unless you're engaged with an enemy. If you're engaged with an enemy, you can only do the focus, attack, or evade actions, okay? So this is something else to keep in mind. Being engaged with enemies limits your freedom. After you're done with the action phase, there is the monster phase. The first phase of the monster phase is that each ready monster activates. So the monsters activate in different ways. Usually they move, but as we can see here, sorry, it's still enemies. Oh no, what's the monster? Okay, monster phase. It's not called enemy phase because that's Arkham Horror card game. So in this case, the activation for the robed figure would be to move up to 2 spaces towards where? Towards their patrol, okay? Which is the unstable space. We're gonna talk about what is the unstable space, but it's gonna move specifically towards a specific location. So this is what the activation means. I'm gonna place Dexter back there. If they're ready. If they're exhausted, they're not gonna move. They're not gonna activate, basically. There are some enemies that when they activate, they don't move. They do something else, but we're gonna see these monsters in the playthrough. Then, each engaged monster, engaged with an investigator, deals damage and horror to the investigator it is engaged with. Each monster has a damage value and a horror value. In this case, there's no horror value that they're gonna deal to the investigators they are engaged with. And then, at the end of the monster phase, each exhausted monster readies. So if there are exhausted monsters, they ready up for the next round, basically, to be able to activate the next round. The third phase of the game is the round is the encounter phase. So each investigator that is not engaged with a monster is able to have an encounter. The encounter can be of different types, okay? If you are if you are in a location, in a neighborhood, these are called neighborhoods. If you are in a neighborhood, you are able to take that specific neighborhood encounter. So you draw from the first card from the top of the encounter deck corresponding to the neighborhood, read what it says, and resolve it. There are also some things called anomalies. If there is an anomaly in your neighborhood, then you have to take an anomaly kind of encounter card, which is those temporal fissures that I showed you before. If you are in the streets, you're gonna have an encounter corresponding to the type to the you take it from the streets deck, and you're gonna have an encounter depending on which kind of symbol is in your streets. While I forgot to mention, in your neighborhood, you have an encounter depending on which location of the neighborhood you are on. You read that section on the card. So, for example, in this case, Jenny and Dexter would draw from the Rivertown deck, the top card, This is Rivertown. And then read the train station. It's not Rivertown, it's Northside, sorry. Northside deck, and they will read from the train station section, so the bottom one, and resolve what it says. Usually it means making some tests and having some consequences. You can have a hint of what each location can do, reading like these symbols on top of the name location name. So for example, here it means test influence or will to gain an item or an ally. In this case, it's spending remnants, those tokens that I talked to you about. Sometimes you can spend remnants to get money or get an item, and so on. Okay, so the encounters, these are all the types of encounters. While we go on with the game, we're gonna be able to spawn clues in the several neighborhoods, and we actually should spawn clues at the beginning of the game. I think it's 2 clues, but we're gonna check that later and do it while we jump through the playthrough. Basically, if there's a clue in your neighborhood, there is an event card. Event cards are these ones in the top 3 cards of your neighborhood deck. And if you draw one of those cards, then you just resolve it as it is normally with the normal encounter cards, but that card is gonna let you gain a clue and place it on your player sheet. Take it from the neighborhood and put it on your player sheet, basically. And this is about the encounter phase. And then there is the last phase, which is the Mythos phase. And you take the Mythos Cup, and each investigator, I think starting from the lead investigator, and in our case is Jenny, takes 2 tokens from the Mythos Cup and resolves them. So there are several types of Mythos tokens that we can have. So there is I'm gonna take all of them and show them to you. There are 6 kind of tokens, 7 kind of tokens. There are multiple of each one. There are blank tokens. They basically do nothing. You got lucky. Nothing bad is happening. There are clues token. When you draw a clue token, you take the first card in front of the event deck. So in this case, downtown. You spawn a clue in the downtown neighborhood, and you shuffle this card that you just drew in the top 3 cards of the downtown encounter deck. Now I'm just gonna place it back where it was. And that's how the clue works. The clue token works. And these are the only 2 good ones. Then there are the bad ones. The headlines tokens, you basically take one of those headlines cards that I showed you before, and you resolve what it says. Some of them are ongoing effects. Some others are one-time tests. They're usually pretty nasty, so they're kind of bad. Then there is the monster spawn. What you do is take the bottom card of the monster deck and spawn it where it says where it needs to be spawned, and you just spawn a monster. Basically, that's what you do. The Doom icon, you take a card from the bottom of the event deck and spawn a Doom in the location. You take the card, so a Doom is going to be spawned in the Merchants District, where there is the Doom icon, so in the TikTok Club. So you take a Doom and you spawn it at the TikTok Club in the Merchant District. Okay? And then I'm just gonna place this back. Then there is the Gate Burst. The Gate Burst works. It's probably the worst token. There's only one in the deck. And you basically take the first card of the top card of the event deck, and you spawn a Doom in each of the locations of that neighborhood. So downtown would get 1, 2, and 3 Doom all at the same time, in this case. And then you take this card and all the cards that were discarded before. So the discarded card are usually when we place Doom, we discard a card, or when we actually see one of these cards, when we find one of these cards in the encounter decks to gain a clue, and we actually get a clue, then the card gets discarded. And we reshuffle all these cards and we put them at the bottom of this deck. And this is how the gate burst works. And then there is the reckoning effect. The reckoning effect is usually something related to this icon. So whenever, is this focusing? Okay. Whenever there is this red box around the text, you basically resolve what it says. It's usually only on the scenario sheet, but sometimes, for example, with dark packs and so on, some cards might have some reckoning effect that you need to resolve. Okay? Why do I keep saying okay? Because you can't answer me, so it's okay. And basically you go on until you either win or lose the game. So there are probably a lot of things that I didn't mention. Oh, spells. Let's talk about some of the items. The items are something that you always have, and you can have as many as you want of items. Spells usually require you to pay a cost in sanity when activating them. And it's usually written, it's written down here, so you spend 1 sanity. I don't know if this would like to focus. I have this one. Why am I doing this? You spend 1 sanity, or for each sanity you need to spend, you can spend a remnant token, and this is the second use of the remnant tokens. While the item cards, some other item cards require you to have 1 hand or 2 hands, which means that you can only use maximum of items by that occupy 2 hands for each action. So if this is just for an attack action, if I would have another card that tells me like you get +2 strength for an attack action, I couldn't use and uses 1 hand slot, I could not use them in combination because I already have my 2 hands occupied by Jenny's Twins 45. Jenny's Twin 45s. Each investigator has a special characteristic, ability, action, and so on. We're gonna see them in the playthrough, the ones for Dexter and Jenny. And I think this is probably oh no, I haven't talked about the anomalies. So in some of the scenarios, including this one, we're gonna have something called anomalies. It's actually gonna be written on this card and it's gonna be explained in this card, but I can tell you talking about it, and then we can see it again written in the text. So sorry about that. It's gonna most likely be a repetition, but it's good for most of the scenarios. When there are 3 dooms on a specific location in a neighborhood, or a max 5 dooms on the neighborhood, you spawn an anomaly. When an anomaly is spawned, you cannot draw encounter cards from that neighborhood anymore when you are in that neighborhood. So if there's clue to be taken, you cannot take clues, but you will always draw from the anomaly deck, which is, once again, this one with these kind of symbols, and there is written temporal fissure behind for this specific scenario. And the anomaly, whenever you need to spawn a doom in a neighborhood with an anomaly, that goes straight into the scenario sheet. And that's how you add dooms to the scenario sheet. And that's what you don't want to do, by the way. And you can only remove the anomaly by cleaning up every single doom in the neighborhood. Once every single doom has been removed from the neighborhood, the anomaly goes away. And that's pretty much it. I think it is time to start playing. So I'm gonna take a quick break and then we can jump straight into the playthrough. Alright, so let's start. Why is everything moving? What did I do? Let's begin and so first of all we need to spawn the first 3 clues. So what we need to do is to draw the top 3 cards of the event deck and spawn 3 clues. So we're gonna spawn a clue in north side, a clue in downtown, and another clue in downtown. So we really want to be in downtown, don't we? So the first thing, then you take this card and top 2 cards of the north side encounter deck and you shuffle them. And then you do the same with downtown basically. You take first the first one. Then I'm gonna remove the last one and then I don't know what I'm doing, so okay. Then you also spawn the first Doom, so you take the bottom card of the event deck and choose and see which one is the unstable space, in this case Velma's Diner, and you spawn a Doom in Velma's Diner. So now Velma's Diner is already 2 Doom, which is not amazing. Not amazing. And that's basically it for spawning clues and Doom. Now let's look at our investigators and let's finish their setup. So Dexter as a magical gift. Once per round, while resolving a lore test, you may reroll 1 or all of your dice. We already saw his focus limit. He has 5 health and 7 sanity. For lore, 3 influence, 2 observation, 2 strength, 2 will. This is a story that I'm not gonna read because I don't want to. And I need to choose one between Astral Travel and Magician's Cane. So Mist of Riley, which is the card that he has, does this. You may test lore in place of observation as part of an evade action. The monster evades modifier still applies. I'm really bothered by these not focusing. I might... Yeah. I might actually try to fix it in a second. You know what? I'm trying to fix it now. See you soon. Okay, I just switched cameras, so whatever. So Astral Travel, one hand, instead of a normal move action, you must test lore. You move a number of spaces equal to your test result plus 2. Or we need to choose between these or the magic cane. You get plus 2 lore while casting a spell. I think he wants to do a lot of spells, so he's gonna take the magic cane and remove the astral travel. For now. I don't know. Was that a good choice? I don't know. Jenny, maybe we look at her card first. Jenny has a trust fund action. If you have fewer than $3, you can gain $3. So you spend an action to regain up to $3. She has 7 health, 5 sanity, 1 lore, 4 influence, 2 observation, 3 strength, and 3 will. She starts with $5, search for Isabel or search for Easy, and 1 between these 2 cards, Dress to the Nines or Jenny's Twin. Jenny's... Oh boy, Jenny's Twin 45s. So search for Easy. Once per round, while resolving a test, you may suffer 1 damage and 1 horror to reroll any number of dice. Oh, and I didn't say, but there are some objects that can absorb damage and horror, as you can see here. Search for easy can absorb 2 damage or 2 horror, but if it ever gets to 2 damage or 2 horror, it's discarded and lost. We have Dress to the Nines. When you spend a focus token to reroll the die, you may reroll any number of dice instead. You gain an additional $2 as part of your trust fund ability. This is very good, actually. But she only has focus limit once, so. And then there is Jenny's Twin 45s. You get plus through as a part of an attack action. You may add 1 to the result of 1 die as part of an attack action. Now, and this is risky, but I feel like I don't want the weapon, because we can get weapons from the display. Right now there's a shotgun, costs $6, and I don't have $6, but could be good to get it, so we're gonna hope for that, I guess. Okay, so let's read the actually the scenario sheet first. Approach of Azathoth. The story so far. At the center of infinity slumbers Azathoth, lulled to sleep by the ceaseless piping of accursed flutes. Yet some mortals would seek to draw the infinite power and calamity of the blind idiot god to them, and thereby doom of all humanity. The reckoning is for each cultist monster, place 1 doom in its space. If it's in a street space, place the doom in an adjacent neighborhood space instead. And then we have anomalies. This is in the codex. People walk with their heads down, shoulders hunched. With each new oddity, it becomes harder to pretend that nothing is wrong. But the vanishing, the strange light, the signings of inhuman creatures, they are not something that can be ignored, at least not for long. When a space has 3 doom, or a neighborhood has a total of 5 doom, place an anomaly in that neighborhood. If additional doom would be placed in a neighborhood with an anomaly, place that doom on the scenario sheet instead. If you will resolve an encounter in a neighborhood with an anomaly, you resolve an anomaly encounter instead. When a neighborhood has 0 doom, remove the anomaly from that neighborhood. And then there is the codex card Deja Vu that is gonna tell us what's our objective. The day dawns the color of a hammered lead, with a stillness and chill that settles over the gabbled roofs of Arkham and lingers. As you go through your morning routine, you cannot shake the feeling of having done it before. The same breakfast, the same headlines in the newspaper warning of disappearance and odd goings on. At the note in your handwriting reading, the demon Sultan approaches, meet at the train station. When there are it's freezing. When there are 3 or more clues on the scenario sheet, add card 4 to the codex. Do not remove this card from the codex. When there is 3 or more doom on the scenario sheet, flip this card. So this is what we need to do. Try to add 3 or more clues to the codex. We can finally start. Action phase. This is just to mark actions, to be honest, so we can keep it. I think what we want to do, we would like to kill the robed figure, but it only has 1 health, so it should be okay. But the problem with this is that we don't have a good weapon. So what I think is going to happen is that we stay north side, and Jenny is going to try and get an item or an ally from there, hopefully, and we let the robed figure come to us, and we just move Dexter here. So Dexter is gonna try and ward there. Ward action. So this is the first word action we do. So basically you test lore. You can do word action when you have doom in a space. you test lore. We have 4 lore, and for each success you can remove a doom from that space. So the 2 actions Dexter did was moving and warding. There is 1 success, 3 failures, but that's enough to remove that doom. So doom has been warded, and that's Dexter's done. And now it is Jenny's turn. Jenny is going to stay there, gain $1 because she wants to have at least $6 to be able to buy the shotgun if it comes to that. So $1 with a gain resource action, and then for the second action she's going to focus because she cannot do much more than that. So she's going to focus, and she's gonna focus her will. Why is she focusing her will, you might wonder? Because here she can she can do an influence or will test to gain items or allies. So now it is the monster phase. Each ready monster activates, so they move 2 spaces towards their prey. Their patrol. Okay. Patrol, in this case, is the unstable space. The unstable space is the space that has in the discard pile that has in the event discard pile, you don't see this because there's a glare, that has this symbol on its on the location. So they're both gonna move towards Velma's diner. 1, 2, 1, 2. If there's no card in the discard pile, the unstable space is the starting space, so the train station. Okay, so now encounter phase. Let's start from Jenny. Jenny is gonna draw a north side encounter. It is not a clue encounter because it an event encounter because it doesn't say event. So she's gonna read the train station entry. You sit with Billy Washington, the old train hand. It shows you something that was left behind, and you ask if you can keep it. Yes, please. That is an influence test, so she has 4 influence, and we're gonna roll for influence. No successes, huh? That's not amazing. I'm going to use search for easy already and lose a sanity and take a damage and a sanity to reroll all of the dice. No successes again. That's not great. I'm gonna spend my focus token to reroll 1 die. This is already not starting very well. Oh, when you spend a focus token to reroll a die, you may reroll any number of dice instead. Forgot about the dress to the 9s. So I'm gonna reroll all of the dice again. 1 success, finally. We got 1 success. If you pass, them folks back in Boston by now, so I don't see why not. You gain 1 common item. If you fail, he says he'll hold onto it in case the owner returns. So we are able to get a common item. An item can be from the display or the first item that we see from the pile that matches that that is common. But I see a shotgun here. The shotgun is a common weapon, so it's a common item. You get +5 as part of an attack action, and each 6 you roll as part of an attack action counts as 2 successes. So that's exactly what I wanted, and I'm gonna get that and be done with my encounter. That costed me quite a bit, but we made it. Now Dexter is going to get a north side encounter, and this is the clue one. That's good. So now we need to read Arkham Advertiser because it's where Dexter is, and we read. Minnie Klein is desperate for a good story. You may spend one remnant to show her something that will wow her. Well, he doesn't have a remnant. If you do, she shares the findings with you and exults over your evidence, finally making it all click together. You gain $3 and one clue from your neighborhood. We don't have remnants, so that was unfortunate. Now this card gets shuffled with the first two top cards of the deck again because we didn't succeed at getting that clue. So that's unfortunate, but okay, now finally Jenny has a weapon. So now it is time for the Mythos Cup. So first Jenny draws two. The first one that we resolve is a Doom. The second one that we resolve is going to be a Doom. Not great. We're gonna have an anomaly already, probably. So we spawn a Doom in Easttown in Hibbs Roadhouse. Okay, so there's already 3 Dooms there. And then in that neighborhood, and then we spawn a Doom in North Side in Curiosity Shop. So that's okay. Dexter can ward that. And it's actually good because now the unstable space is the Curiosity Shop. So they're gonna move towards us. Okay, this was Jenny's Mythos Cup. And now it is Dexter's Mythos Cup. So Dexter is going to draw. The first one is a headline, and the second one is a clue spawn. So let's read the headline. Astronomers chuffed as stars align. 1,000 years in the making. Stars, planets in unique configuration. No cause for alarm, authorities say. Headline, rumor, which means it stays active. Add this card to the codex and discard all other rumors headlines. Reckoning, each investigator tests wheel. Each investigator who fails places one doom in their space. Then an investigator may spend one clue to discard this card. So this is gonna be added to the codex and it's gonna stay there until we get rid of it. I'm sorry that there is this glare on the discard pile. Maybe, you know what, I'm just gonna move it here. Makes sense. Okay, so the headline is gonna stay there, and the only way to get rid of it is to spend a clue when there's a reckoning. Otherwise, every time we need to spend, we need to test willpower to not add doom. And then the clue is gonna be spawned in the merchant district. As you can see from the green screen becoming transparent is the green location. And I'm gonna take the first 3 cards of the merchant district, shuffle them, and add a merchant district, a clue to a merchant district. Okay, so don't hate me, but I will take a quick break to fix. I don't like how the zoom in camera. Give me a second. And we're ready for the second round. Now, Jenny can't really reach the robed figures and try to kill them, unfortunately. So, what she's gonna do is move to the Arkham Asylum, 1, 2, and hopefully get, because they're gonna move 2, so they're gonna move here and here. and we don't want her engaged to monsters. And Dexter is going to move to the curiosity, and that's our first action. Our second action would be to, I guess, focus again. We don't have anything. We don't have much more to do with her except focusing, and she's gonna gain a strength this time. Do we need a strength when we have the shotgun? We probably want observation. We're gonna increase observation for her. And that's our turn done. So I should flip this over to remind myself that this is done. Dexter is going to move to the curiosity shop and try to ward there. So he's gonna use 4 dice. No successes, so it's not gonna ward. And that's all, I think. Yeah, there's nothing else he can do about that. Once per round, once per round where we're resolving a lore test, you may reroll 1 or all of your dice. You know what? Let's do it. Let's reroll all of his dice for his action. He has 1 success, so he wards 1 doom. And that's fine. That's enough. So this was the action phase. The monster phase is both of them are gonna move towards the unstable space, and the unstable space is the curiosity shop at the moment. So they're gonna move towards here. I'm gonna just make them branch because that's better for me. And now it is the encounter phase. So Jenny is going to have a downtown encounter card. Downtown. It is the clue one. Good. Arkham Asylum. The twin snakes of minds and of matter, all barriers to help dissolve the universal solvent Azathoth. This new doctor seems unorthodox. You may spend $1 to try this method and ask for more details. We will spend $1. If you do, you or an ally recovers 3 sanity and you gain 1 clue from your neighborhood. Okay, so search for easy is gonna recover 1. Oh, but this is not an ally, so I can't really recover sanity. But it's good, we got the clue, so this goes into the discard pile, and we get a clue. We get a clue from this neighborhood. So there's that. Dexter is going to have a curiosity shop encounter in Northside. And it's the same as before. Curiosity shop, but we are in a different location. Oliver Thomas seems distracted today. You may buy any number of curio items from the display. I forgot to refill the display, by the way. Curio. We have the Elder Sign, Elder Amulet. We have the Tattered Cloak. We have the Secret Page, and we have the Otherworld Codex. But all of them have a higher price that we can afford, because that is 5, this is 5, this is 4, this is 3, and we only have $2, so we can't buy anything. As Oliver packages your purchases, you watch the store's... What is that? Tortoise shell? Tortoise shell. Okay. Cat walk up the stairs. Observation check. We only have 2 dice for observation. Okay. Success? Yes, 1 success. If you pass, the cat ascends the stairs again a moment later. You gain 1 clue from your neighborhood. Nice. So we have another clue gained. And this goes into the discard pile. Very successful encounter phase. Middle phase. Draw from the cup. Jenny is going to draw a spawn and a blank. That's great. So blank goes away. The spawn is going to be from the bottom of the monster, a hooded stalker. Monster, human cultist, spawn at the most doom space, so Velma's Diner. Hunter, move towards and engage lowest strength. So he's gonna move and engage towards Dexter. He has one health, fight with -0, evade with -1, and he deals 1 damage when attacking. And now it is time for Dexter to do the Midas Cup. It's going to be a clue spawn and a reckoning. That is bad. Okay. First one, clue token, clue spawn. So it's going to go into River Town. River Town here. Take the first 3 cards of River Town and shuffle them. And then with the Reckoning, we need to do the headline and the Approach of Azathoth card. For each cultist monster, place 1 doom in its space. That is bad because all the 3 monsters we have are cultists at the moment. So East Town is gonna have an anomaly. So we definitely need to go there. So this gets a doom. This gets a doom, and this gets a doom. Okay. So, and East Town gets the first anomaly. And then we need to do Reckoning here. Each investigator tests will. Each investigator who fails places 1 doom in their space. So, Dexter wheel has 2 wheel. So Dexter is going to succeed. 1 success, so he's not gonna place a doom in his space. Jenny has 3 wheel, 2. And 3 wheel. She succeeds, so she's not gonna place a doom in her space. We can spend the clue to get rid of that rumor. Dexter is gonna spend this clue, and we're gonna get rid of this rumor, so we don't need to care about it anymore. That is done. So Mido's phase is completed. Now, actually these tokens, maybe you don't want to see them. Okay. It is the action phase again. I think Dexter and Jenny will both go to Independence Square, and Jenny's gonna attack the robed figure and Dexter is gonna ward. So Jenny goes here, engages the robed figure. The robed figure has only 1 health, and remember that when Jenny attacks, she can use her shotgun. She gets +5 strength as part of an attack action. So she rolls 8 dice. Wow. Because she has 3 + 5. Sorry about that. There is 2 successes, which would deal 2 damages to the cultist. Actually, there are 2 6s, so they would have, it would be 4 damages. So we succeeded, and the robed figure is dead. They go at the top of the monster deck. And now it's Dexter's turn. Dexter can move 1, 2, and then spend his $2 to move 2 extra movement to go to Independence Square. And then he can try to ward. He's going to roll 4 dice because he has 4 lore. No successes. Perfect. Can he do something? Yes, he can reroll once per round when performing a lore check. So he's gonna reroll everything. One success only. He's gonna ward one doom. If he would have warded 2 dooms, he would have been able to get a remnant, but that didn't happen apparently. So there's that. Unfortunately, now all the monsters are gonna... No, maybe not. Let's see. Monster phase. So the first monster is gonna go towards the Arkham Advertiser. So the robed figure is gonna go towards Arkham Advertiser. So 1, 2. While the Hooded Stalker is gonna go towards because he's gonna go to the unstable space. He's gonna go towards and engage the lowest strength. So he's gonna engage Dexter, unfortunately. But I guess it's fine. And he's gonna attack Dexter, causing him a damage that is gonna assign to the Magician's Cane. Now, it is time for the encounter phase. Jenny is the only one who can do an encounter because Dexter is engaged to an enemy. So, with an enemy. So Jenny is gonna do an Independence Square, downtown Independence Square encounter. It is not the clue. Anna Caslow, the old soothsayer, is offering tarot readings. You may spend $1 to ever tell your fortune. Sure. Spend $1. If you do, the cards reveal that many challenges await you in the future, but you will triumph if you believe in yourself and trust your intuition. You gain the moon. What is the moon? It's a special artifact, I guess. We're gonna look for it. The moon. Item Curio. Here it is. Item Curio. Increase your focus limit by 1. That's great for her because she only has 1. And it can absorb 3 horror. That was good. Okay, so Jenny did her encounter. Now it is the Mythos Cup again. So Jenny is gonna draw 2 tokens. First one is blank, second one is a gate burst. So the blank goes away. The gate burst is pretty bad because we're gonna have 3 doom spawning in downtown. 1, 2, 1 in each location. 1, 2, 3. And this means that since we have 5 doom in this neighborhood, we also have an anomaly in downtown. So we can't take that clue until we remove the anomaly. Then we take this card and all of the discard all of the discard cards, event cards, we shuffle them together and we place them at the bottom of the event deck, which means Doom is more likely to spawn there again. I think Dexter really needs to step up his wording game because he's not doing great at that. And definitely Jenny is not good at wording, so okay, gate burst has been resolved, and now it is Dexter who's gonna resolve a blank and a doom. The doom is going to spawn in Easttown. Doesn't matter where it spawns because it's gonna go directly on the scenario sheet because there's an anomaly in Easttown. Not amazing. So this goes in the discard. Okay, so we need to remove these anomalies. That's for sure. So what Jenny is going to do is attack the Hooded Stalker and then move to a location with like move to another location basically. Okay, so let's try to attack the Hooded Stalker. So she's gonna engage the Hooded Stalker and attack it. It has a modifier of 0, so she has 8 dice. If we don't get at least one success, I'm gonna cry. We didn't get any successes. This is embarrassing. So we can use Dress to the Nines to spend 1 focus token and reroll all of the dice. So let's try this again. 1 success. Yes. We deal 1 damage to the Hooded Stalker. Yeah. We kill it. So this was Jenny's action, and she's going to... Sorry, this was here. Is she going to move or is she going to focus? Can Dexter move and focus? Oh no, he's gonna word. He could move and word, or focus and word. Who do we want? I think we want Jenny to focus. So Jenny's gonna focus and stay there because she can reroll more things when she focuses. And she wants to focus Will because maybe she needs to use Will in the... No, not really. We want her to focus Observation because we have an anomaly card coming up anyways. So she focused Observation. Dexter is going to move here and do a word action. He's gonna roll 4 dice. I think this game is kidding me. Like, no successes, so we're gonna use Dexter's ability to reroll all of them. And no successes again. This is insane. He can't even spend anything to be able to reroll, so that is fine. Monster phase. The robed figure is going to move towards the unstable space, and the unstable space is the Hibbs Roadhouse. So unfortunately, I think he's going to engage highest influence, so Jenny. So Jenny is not gonna be able to have an encounter, and she's also gonna get a damage from the robed figure. So not amazing. Dexter is going to have the encounter phase. He's gonna draw an anomaly encounter. The anomaly encounters are these encounters, and we need to read what's corresponding to the amount of doom we have in our space. This book contains details of events throughout history, but the longer you read, the less sense the story makes. Test lore. Okay, 4. Test lore. We succeed. 3 successes now. Really? If you pass, you realize that the events are laid out in reverse, and you read the book beginning with the last entry and ending with the first. You remove 1 doom from your space. Only 1 doom. Sure. Removed 1 doom. That's it. Is the Mythos Cup phase. So Jenny is going to draw first a spawn and then a headline. There's nothing more. And then we're gonna have to place everything back in the Mythos Cup. So first she's gonna spawn a monster. The monster is going to be another robed figure. Okay. Is that? Yeah, because there's 3 robbed figures in the deck. It's gonna spawn at the unstable space, so it is the Hibbs Roadhouse. And it's gonna stay there. Okay. And then the headlines is going to be Miskatonic Museum mystery. Item stolen from rare exhibit. Police stumped. Crazed curator calls curious cursed. Headline: test wheel and resolve the effect based on your test result. We're gonna get cursed unless we do three successes, and getting cursed is bad because it means that only 6s are successes from now on. We got 1 success. I think it's not worth it to spend the focus token to reroll 2 of them. It's unlikely that we're gonna get two successes. We can get a curio item. We have the Elder Sign amulet that says once per round, if 2 or more horror would be dealt on this card, prevent 1 of that horror. Good, but not amazing. You get +2 lore as part of a word action. You get a +3 as part of a word action, or non-epic monster ignore you while activating and do not engage you unless you attack or damage them. I think she's gonna take the you get +3 as a part of word action, because all the rest is pretty bad. But she becomes cursed. Where does the headlines card go? Here. Becoming cursed is bad because while resolving a test, only 6s count as successes. After you pass the test, discard. If you will become blessed, discard instead. That is fine because she's gonna attack with 8 dice, so hopefully she's gonna get at least 1 6 and she can reroll all of the 8s, so that's okay, I guess. And now it is Dex. I lost. And this goes back into the cup, and now please, Dexter, don't draw horrible stuff. Please, please, please. Spawn and headline. Okay, that's still okay because we need to remove these anomalies. Spawn is going to spawn Swift by a key. This is a nasty one, I think. Spawn at the most doom, which is Velma's Diner. Hunter, move towards and engage lowest observation. I think this guy has he has 3 health, not that much. After you defeat this monster's part of an attack action, you may disengage all monsters and move up to 3 spaces. And he also gives a remnant when killed. So it's gonna spawn here. And then we have a headline. The headline says, this month's double full moons especially bad. No scientific explanation available. Add this to the codex and discard all other rumor headlines. We wasted the clue basically before then. Reckoning. Each investigator tests willpower. Each investigator who fails suffers 2 horror. Then an investigator may spend 1 clue to discard this card. It's basically very similar to the one we already had. I'm not very happy about that. Anyways, it is time for Jenny to attack the monster. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's cursed. Let's remember that she's cursed. But she has a 6. She has 2 6s. So she kills the robbed figure and discards the cursed. That is good. That is very, very good. And she has a second action. Now, does she want to try and ward? I think she's gonna try and ward because she gets a +3. So she basically has the same amount of dice as Dexter. Sorry, there's my hand there now. So she's gonna try and ward in Independence Square. And she removes 1 doom only. But at least she removes 1 doom. And Dexter is going to try and ward with like 4 die with his word action. Oh, she could have spent a focus token and tried to. Yeah, let's do that. She only got 1 success. We're gonna reroll 3 dice, spending a focus token because I want to get rid of this anomaly as soon as possible. So no successes. Whatever. Whatever. Dexter is gonna roll 4 dice to be ward. So let's see if he's able to. He's gonna remove 1. Yeah, 1 is enough because there's only 1. And then he's going to move, since the Bayaki would engage, move towards and engage lowest observation. It doesn't matter. They're the same. He's gonna move to the Arkham Asylum, actually to Independence Square, and then just be with Jenny, I guess, when she gets attacked by the Bayaki, who, by the way, is going to cause her 1 horror, 1 damage. So it's not amazing, but monster phase. The Bayaki is going to go and attack. What's the unstable space right now? So the Bayaki is gonna go and attack Jenny for sure. So he's engaged with Jenny and he's gonna give her 1 damage and 1 horror. The horror can be absorbed by the moon, but she's gonna take the damage. The robed figure is going to move. It's gonna stay there because that's still the unstable space. So the robed figure is not going to move. Now, encounter phase. Dexter is the only one having an encounter, and he's going to have an anomaly encounter. He's going to read the temporal, the 1-2. You find yourself reliving some of the darkest moments of the American Revolution. You suffer 2 horror. Oh boy. He can give 1 horror to the magic wound, but he can magician cane, but abruptly you find yourself alongside General Washington and knock him out of the path of a bullet just in time. You remove 2 doom from your space and gain 1 remnant. But there's only 1 doom. Oh no. But we got a remnant, so that's something, I guess. Okay. I'm gonna place this here. Actually, this goes like this. Oh, that's fine. Middle's face. I'm afraid. I'm very afraid of what is going to happen because a lot of tokens here are gonna add doom to the scenario shit, and we don't want that. But there's not much I can do. So Jenny's gonna draw a headline and a clue. That's good enough. So the headline is, if you have 1 or more clues, you become cursed. She just got rid of that. She just got rid of that curse. I didn't read the headline, sorry. But like Symposium Snafu, no the scholars found dead, tainted from food suspected, no foul play at work, authorities say. Not great. It's fine. Clue gets spawned at north side. So north side, Clue. 1, 2. And I really hope Dexter gets blanks and clues, because we need to remove at least the anomaly there and then go to Velma's Diner. Okay. Dexter is going to get a clue. That's good. And please a blank, please a blank. A doom. Clue is going to be in Rivertown. A clue in Rivertown. And the doom is going to be in north side. That's good. In Curiosity Shop, which becomes the unstable space. So now the robed figure is gonna come walking towards Curiosity Shop. Okay, so this is done. So Jenny is gonna have to attack. Yeah, I think Jenny is gonna attack the Swift by a key and then move to. We'll see. Jenny attacks the Swift by a key. So she needs to deal 3 damages. Each 6 is 2, but only 6s are successes. But she can reroll. Oh, she can focus. Let's have her focus first. So she's gonna focus. Actually, she's gonna focus strength right now because she needs more dice. So she's gonna roll 9 dice because she can focus while engaged. So let's have her. There is 2 6s, so she succeeded at killing the Swift by a key in one go without even having to spend her clue. So 4 damages to the Swift by a key because only 6s count as successes, but each 6 counts as 2 successes. So Swift by a key takes 4 damages and is dead. And when we kill it, as part of an attack, you might disengage all monsters and move up to 3 spaces. That is good. Where do we want Jenny to move? This is a little bit problematic because, and she discards the curse. If we let her move there, she's gonna be engaged by the robed figure. Not really, because the robed figure will move towards the unstable space. So I think we can let the robed figure move the other way. So I'm gonna let her move there. Actually, no, she's gonna move here in the Arkham Asylum. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. She's gonna stay in the Depends Square, to be honest. And Dexter, as is, she's not gonna move. She's gonna stay in Independence Square. Dexter, as part of his action, he's going to move 2 spaces into the Velma's Diner and try to ward. Now, please, Dexter, don't disappoint. Don't. Three successes. So we ward 3 Doom, all of the 3 of them. That is amazing. And we get 1 remnant because we cleaned up more than 1. at least 2 basically. So actually I'm not really considering these tokens, but might as well keep them. That was a pretty good investigator phase. I'm happy. Monster phase is gonna move 2 times towards the unstable space. I'm gonna just let him move this way because I think I can. And then there is the encounter phase. So they're both gonna have anomalies encounters. Jenny's first, so she's in a space with 0 doom. Temporal fissure. Through a shimmering gateway, you see a timeline just like yours, but without the hardships you now face. You attempt to seal the gate. Lore. If you pass, you remove 1 doom from any space in your neighborhood. If you fail, you are stuck by longing for that other world and become cursed. I swear, Jenny, like... She only has 1 lore, because she can only increase by as a part of a word action. So, let's see. A 1. She's gonna spend the focus to reroll. A 2. Is she gonna take a damage and a horror to be able to reroll? Sure, why not? A damage and a horror for her search for easy card. So the horror is gonna go on the moon. I really don't want her to become cursed. Mostly. Yes! Success! After all of this. We remove a doom and the anomaly goes away. Whew! This was long. Okay, Dexter gets the anomaly card too. He's gonna get the 0-1. Aleph, Bet, Gimel. The crone walks you through the first lesson, lore. If you pass, you grasp the underlying power of language to define reality. You remove 1 doom from any space in your neighborhood. I shouldn't have read that. So 4 for lore. 1 success, that's enough. We remove the doom and we remove also the anomaly. We are finally anomaly free and we can focus on the clues right now. What would have happened if we failed? If you fail, you suffer 1 horror. Okay, so time for the Mythos Cup. So Jen is gonna do a blank and a blank. This means a lot of bad stuff is about to happen because we already drew both of the clues. So Dexter is gonna have a gate burst, clearly, and a doom. Now, the gate burst is going to be in north side, so 1 doom in each space of north side. Still not an anomaly, but it might very well be an anomaly now because there's 2 north side cards in the back of the event deck, so I'm not really looking. I'm just gonna place them there. And then Doom spawn. Yes, it's East Town. And it's gonna be at Hibbs Roadhouse. Doom at Hibbs Roadhouse. Okay, so what is going to happen is that I think Jenny might go and ward that one. Can she? 1, 2, 3, 4. She can. She can go and try and ward that space there. Because we're for sure gonna spawn an anomaly there if we don't clean that up. So Jenny is gonna do that, and the robed figure is gonna move toward Hibbs Roadhouse. So he's gonna move back. But at this point, we don't care about the robed figure. It's more important to clean that up. 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's gonna spend $2. And then do a ward action. She has 4 ward action. 4 dice. Please, please, please. No successes. She has no focus. Oh boy. Is she gonna take a damage and a horror? She's gonna take a damage and a horror to reroll all of that. The problem is that we're killing Jenny like this. She only has 3 health left, basically. One success, better than nothing, I guess. Okay. Oh boy. This is not amazing. But yeah, these were Jenny's actions, and now it is Dexter. I think what Dexter wants to do is to move to the Black Cave. So he's gonna gain $1 and then spend $1 to move 1, 2, 3 into the Black Cave. And that's all. Monster Face, the robed figure, is going to move to the Hibbs Roadhouse because that's the unstable space. And I didn't refill this, by the way. You get +3 lore while casting a spell. Well. Encounter Phase. So Jenny is going to get North Side Curiosity Shop encounter. It's not the clue. You hear the door lock just as the lights go out. Something strolls past you in the dark. 3 will test. Successes, 2 successes. If you pass, you make your way to the counter and find a package with your name on it. You gain 1 curio item. If you fail, we don't care about failing. Curio item, I think she's gonna get the amulet, because this is what she can heal with. Because she wants to be engaged by monsters, I think. So she's gonna get the Elder Sign amulet, that once per round, if 2 or more horror would be dealt to discard, prevent 1 of that horror. But it absorbs also 2 damages, so that's fine. Okay. This was Jenny. And now it is to Dexter. He's gonna do River Town. It's not the clue. Black Cave. Spurs of rocks around the passageway like to the maw. You steel yourself to enter. Test willpower. He only has 2. Ah, 1 success. Great. If you pass, you discover wax and chalk marking that suggests a ritual was held here, and find something that was left behind. You gain 1 curio item. If you fail, you retreat in fear, you suffer 1 horror. So we gain 1 curio item. He can get the... Oh, we have another one, maybe. No, it's a weapon. It's you get +5 as a part of an attack action. Maybe he wants to be ignored by monsters. I think so. So he's gonna get the Tattered Cloak that says non-epic monsters ignore you while activating and do not engage you unless you attack or damage them. Okay. This was the River Town encounter. Now we're gonna have the Mythos Cup. Jenny is going to spawn Doom, and we already know that it's going to be a north side, and spawn a monster. So Doom is going to be a north side in the train station. And monster it is the Swift by a key again. Another Swift by a key. I didn't. Oh no. I think. Yeah, when I killed it, I put it on the bottom. The Swift by a key. The High Priest. Oh no. Spawn at most Doom. Lurker. Place 1 Doom in this space when he activates. He doesn't move. He has 2 health, -1/-1. After you defeat this monster's pattern attack action, you gain 1 spell. He's gonna spawn here because this is the most Doom. I think Jenny knows what she's gonna do next round. Oh no, I placed it back in the cup. It was a spawn. And there's only... Why there's only 3 tokens in the cup? Ah, because I placed the gate burst back in the cup. That was my bad. Because we had the gate burst there, like before. So now it is a blank and a reckoning for Dexter. The reckoning is going to be, for each cultist monster place 1 Doom in its space. That is a cultist. God. So this is now an anomaly. Sad. And then also this guy spawns a Doom there. And then we also need to test willpower. Each investigator who fails suffer 2 horror. Then any investigator may spend 1 clue to discard this card. The monster cup is... So let's test will for Jenny. She has 3. She succeeds, so she doesn't take 2 horror. And now Dexter is going to succeed too, so it doesn't take 2 horror. Do we want to spend a clue to remove that card? I say no for now, because we need to start advancing in the codex with researching that clue. Even though Jen is not gonna be able this round because she's busy cleaning up that section, but we need to start somewhere. Anyways, this was the first episode of this playthrough, and as I said, this is gonna be a long game, so I'm gonna break it into multiple episodes. So yeah, I'm sad that you have there's a shadow on my face, but I just want to say that if you like this playthrough, please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you want to. I'd be forever grateful. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And see you very soon at the next episode. And ciao ciao.